Alright! Hey, what is up guys? It's me, Eddie, and I am back with another episode of Katawa Shoujo. Why the fuck does my throat already hurt? That's not a good sign. Okay. So, I was doing a little reading on a guide. Right? And, here's what's crazy. I feel like I already should have known this. I really feel like this is just common sense, right? Apparently people are saying what? Apparently people are saying it's better to get the bad endings and then the good endings. I didn't read the reasoning why, but on an emotional level I feel like that just makes sense, right? Well, too late now, I guess. Oh god. So, man. Oh, I don't like this. Damn it. Actually, hold on. Let me just do a sound check really quick. Okay, yeah, that sounds works. Anyways. Here we are, and yes, we have to go after her. The only way to find out is to go to the source, and the source is currently pretending that she has to use the toilet. Whoa, new scene. I excuse myself politely from the table and head that way, only to catch sight of Amy not in the bathroom, but in the kitchen just next to the living room. Amy's left the door open, and as I approach, I can see that she's holding to the table in an attempt to compose herself, an effort that fails as soon as I open my mouth. Doesn't look like nature's call was that urgent. Amy jumps and glares at me. What are you doing here? I didn't come here to be with other people. Is this sound on? I just wanted to help you. You look pretty rattled. I said it was nothing, didn't I? And besides, I thought we'd established that you can't help me. You can't help me. No, we've established that you're stubborn. Look who's talking, the guy that followed me. This is different. I want you to help with whatever this is. Funny, because I just want you to leave me alone. You know what? It's okay. This is not canon. Or it's canon, but it's in the storyline, but it's not canon for me, who apparently ends up with Amy, because apparently that was the first route I got. But why? Why can't you just trust me? We've been over this, Hisao. I got to deal with this stuff on my own. I won't accept that. You need my... Oh. Hisao, you idiot! You just won't take it. My wording seems to have been a little off. I need your help? Well, it's a good thing we've met, isn't it? Because otherwise, I guess I'd just be a broken human being, wouldn't I? No, it's a damn good thing Hisao came along to save the day, isn't it? Because God knows I can't save myself, can I? I'm just a poor, emotionally damaged girl with no legs, right? Amy, you know I don't think that. Really? Because if you thought differently, I don't think you'd be here saying that I need your help. I've got pretty far in life as a normal human being without you. So what? Nothing we've shared was important. I'm just the guy who hangs out with you. You're my boyfriend, Hisao, not my savior. Well, no, that much is obvious. You wouldn't even consider that I could be a help to you, will you? You'll just bottle it up and hope it'll all run, that it will solve your problems, or you'll come visit me and we'll fool around until you feel better. That's not being a healthy human being, Amy. That's not what a relationship means. And he's not wrong. It's what it means. It's to be me right now, Hisao. I wish... She seems to reconsider her words this time. A flicker of pain, a doubt on her face. For a moment, I think she's about to cry. But the moment passes and she's composed herself again. Whatever that wish was, will have to go unspoken. Look, I just can't do this right now. What, have a serious conversation? Be open, be honest? Give a damn about what anyone besides yourself? Give a damn about anyone besides yourself and your problems? What do you know about my problems? Nothing. You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend that you do. I know you have nightmares, and I know that your father's gone. What happened to him? Amy's head jerks backwards as if I just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice. That's enough. This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been a variation on Amy stonewalling me. What, you won't even answer the question? Fine, keep your secrets. They could lie in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Amy's eyes widen in shock. When she speaks again, it's a low that is low, dangerous. Get out of my house, he saw. The sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger and makes me realize with a drawing horror what I've just said. Amy, I didn't mean... I said go, he saw. Tell my mother she cooked up a wonderful meal, but you've forgotten a prior engagement and get out of my house. She's trembling now, shaking with anger, sadness, or determination. Her voice is still low, controlled, almost a growl. I reach out and put an arm on her shoulder to apologize for going too far, but she jerks away from my touch. Get out. What can I do? I walk out of the kitchen and go to the living room, making an apology to Mrs. Imbarazaki and let myself out. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can really say why they say go for the bad route first, because holy fucking shit, this is not going to end well. The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switching it off. My eyes grow blearily to stare at the ceiling. What am I going to do? Do I get out of bed, go down to the track, and pretend that nothing happened? Will Amy even show up? After last evening's events, I doubt it. Even supposing that she did, what would I do then? Get over this fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I spoke hastily last evening, especially trying to use her father as leverage, but was I said anything I said really off the mark? You're right in the first half, and then you kind of went off the rails. Though to be fair, I don't want to blame it entirely, because... She won't let me in, ever, and she'll be forced to suffer alone. Nothing I do, nothing I say is going to change that. She won't change it, and she's already decided to keep me at arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her, knowing that I'm never going to get past where I am now? No, I decided I can't. No, I decided. I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyways. A similar mental conversation repeats itself when it comes time to go to lunch, and I eat in the cafeteria, alone. I don't want to see her, the very thought makes me ill. Oh god. That night I go for a run. I'm solo for the first time since Amy got sick after the track meet. Skip seeing the nurse, just in case he asked about Amy. That's not good. I don't want to talk about her either. The next day I do the same thing. Alarm off, stay in bed. Eat alone, run alone. To fill the time that I'd usually be spending with Amy, I start reading more. It works surprisingly well until I find myself ducking into a restroom because I see her walking down the hall in between classes. If she noticed me, she didn't show it, even though I don't suppose she ever shows anything. Certainly not to the girls from the class I see talking cheerfully to her, or to her fellow track members, especially not to me. Alarm off, stay in bed. Muto and I have a lengthy talk about the possibility that string theory is plausible. Shit, what was string theory again? I thought... Wasn't that about, like, particles and stuff? How the smallest particle is not a point, but a string. Because if that's the case, then I don't buy it myself. More than 4 dimensions I could buy, but a bunch of Oh, yeah, no, that is string theory. But a bunch of vibrating strings at the subatomic level, that's asking a bit much. Well, what is down there, then? Oh, really? Huh. Looks like I'm not... To be fair, this was made in, like, what, 2008? I don't remember. Looks like I'm not the only one to think this way, too. Apparently it's not as strong as a theory as it once was. Muto says it's just because nobody has found the right way of looking at the data yet. Hasn't that changed recently? Isn't that outdated? Eat alone. The rooftop is deserted today. I briefly wonder where Amy and Rin are, but shrug off the question. The important thing is that they aren't here, so I won't have to talk to them. Since I have nobody to talk to, I bring a book with me to read. The weather's nicer, if getting a little hot. Hopefully it'll be cooler in the evening. A cool breeze seems to back up my theory. Run alone. It is in fact cool in the track. No sign of Amy, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going for. I stretch out and start my usual run, trying hard to ignore the lack of a running partner in front of me. Finding my thoughts drifting damnably to the girlish laughter, incorrigible grin, and those wide and friendly eyes, her incredibly toned body. Increase the pace to clear my head. Chew up the distance between me and the turns. Find the speed that makes me think of only of my legs and how much they burn. I glance at my watch as I round the final turn, and knowing that time's gotten faster. My time's gotten faster. My heart seems a little squirrely tonight, so I give myself a few extra cooldown laps just to be safe. No reason to bring this to nurse's attention. I'll be fine. A rather Amy-ish thought to have, I'll admit. I have to hope that eventually I'll stop thinking about her so much. Finish another book before going to bed that night. I'll have to stop by the library tomorrow. No, spinny, huh? I don't know why I keep the early alarm on anymore, but it wakes me up the next morning just the same. I still turn it off and go back to sleep. That afternoon, as I get ready to head to the cafeteria for another solo lunch, I've got a new book about a couple con men in ancient Persia. Whoa, that sounds fun. Is that based on a real book? That sounds like a fun story that I'm pretty excited about reading. I'm suddenly cornered by Misha and... I guess just Misha. Off to eat alone again, He-chan. We've noticed, you know. She-chan and I noticed that you've been spending more time alone. She wanted me to find out why, so I told her I'd ask you. I'm surprised she didn't ask me herself. She would have, but she wanted to get a head start on some paperwork. There's a lot of it since we're coming up on the end of her term, you know? Why the sudden interest in my well-being anyway? Shi-chan said it is the duty of the student council to keep track of the emotional health of its students. To allow the constituent to spiral into depression unchecked would be an unforgivable failure in the council's duties. Well, that's easy then, I'm not depressed. But you're eating alone, no one's seen you and Amy together at all. Something happened, didn't it, He-chan? Misha's voice takes on a slightly sterner tone, though somehow she keeps the familiar lilt at the end of her sentences. Oh, what? What? We've got more... What? Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. I gotta, wait, what? There are more choices? I thought this was just the end. Hold on. Does it matter? Oh, I assume there's a good and neutral ending. Rin's path. She's in Amy's path. Wait. I knew. Okay, I had a feeling. I feel like is this the way to get back? Oh, shit. Shit. Okay. This is a path back onto the good route. Okay. This is... I'm not sure I like the idea of airing private matters to the student council. Nothing major. He-chan, lying is a terrible thing to do. She's not buying it. Okay, give her something, but not too much. We had a disagreement and we haven't resolved it yet. Oh, why not? Because, look, I don't need to talk about this, okay? It's not a big deal, okay? I'm fine. And Amy, is she fine too, He-chan? Misha's voice is taking on a decidedly serious edge. This is ridiculous. I don't know, okay? I haven't asked. Things are complicated right now. kind of man are you? Things get a little rough and you're going to hide from them. Misha's sudden retort catches me completely off guard. Shi-chan would call that a cowardly act, and she'd be right too. You two are close, happy together, and you're just going to roll over and die without a fight? You should be willing to fight for your girlfriend, Hisao. Seems like Misha is channeling Shizune at the moment, and she's right! This is incredibly stupid! Though, to be fair, I do want to ask myself, would I be any better if I was in this situation? Well, to be fair, would I be in this situation in the first place? You know what? Whatever. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that Shizune gave her a script to follow based on my answer. Misha points an imperious arm at the classroom door. Now you get out of the classroom and patch things up. We still got afternoon classes. That doesn't seem to dissuade Misha. Then after class, you better do it, Hee-chan. It's important that you don't leave things like this. Why? Misha regards me as one would regard an animal's droppings. Didn't you care about her, Hisao? That's important, isn't it? Ah, she's right. I do care about her. Don't I? Okay. I'll go see her after class. Great. I'll let Shi-chan know you're okay then. The lilt returns. I guess that means Misha isn't angry at me anymore. She waves and disappears down the hallway, and I eat my lunch. While afternoon classes draw to a close, I prepare myself for the task ahead. I have to see Amy. Misha was at least correct about that. Leaving the question of Amy and me an open issue won't work. At the very least, I need to apologize for what I said. I consider going to her room to find her, but she's still probably at the track. She's probably still at the track. The steps out of the main building and down the path to the track make me feel like a doomed man. I have a twisting, horrible feeling in my gut that this is all going to go horribly wrong, but that I'm not going to accomplish anything. Except for maybe driving the final nail in the coffin of whatever it was Amy and I had. There she is, just as expected, running laps around the track after everyone else has gone to shower and dinner. I don't wave or even make my presence known. I just sit down on the bleachers and watch her run her laps. It takes a few trips around the track before she notices me, after which she skids to a stop, eyes wide in surprise. The surprise is quickly masked by anger, which in turn fades behind the mask that I already know is impenetrable. What are you doing here? Yep. What are you doing here? Not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point I don't have much of a choice. I want to apologize for what I said the other day. The other day? She laughs, a curt exclamation of disbelief. It's been almost a week, Hisao. Yeah, well, better late than never, right? Amy crosses her arms and stares at me coolly, as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge, then. I forgive you. Is that all? Almost impatient question catches me so off guard that she's halfway down the track before I think to shout to her. No, wait! Amy stops, turns, and walks back to me, breathing a little heavy and looking annoyed at my interruption. What? Okay, I need to make this right somehow. I have to know where I stand, maybe patch things up. Can you at least sit down? I think we're okay talking here. Fine, sure, look, about us. I pause, trying to think of a good way to phrase what I'm about to say. Before I could launch an impression to plead before giving me another chance, Amy's already spoken. There's no more us, Hisao. Why not? We're just not right for each other. She delivers this outrageous statement without even looking in my eyes. I don't believe you. We're great with one another. This is a guy apologizing for getting thrown out of my house last week. It was a fight. Look, I said something really incredibly stupid and apologized for it. And how many times have we discussed the problem that started the fight? How many times have we told you that there's a sap boundary that I wouldn't cross? And how many times did you keep trying to cross it? Because your boundary was stupid. Oh, great. By the way, is it just me or have we not heard this song before? Amy rolls her eyes, folds her arms under her chest, and cocks her head to the side. Do you see this, Hisao? This is why we're not right for one another. Her voice softens a little and she reaches out to stroke my cheek. You're a good guy, but we're not gonna work. Horrible lurching feeling, I realize that she's been practicing this, maybe every day since I left her house. Even the cheek stroke seems rehearsed, like something out of a movie. She never intended to give me another chance. Hell, she probably would have been fine with never seeing me again. So that's it then. Nothing else to say but gee, it was fun while it was last, but so long. This actually seems to amuse Amy far more than I want to. She gives a rather morbid-sounding chuckle. That's how I've lived my life, Hisao. You should know that by now. And it was fun. A sad smile. She shivers slightly, then the smile vanishes. But it's over now. It's for the best. I want to yell, to scream at her, make her see reason that this is stupid, the whole act, that she's just afraid of what being close to someone means. I want to tell her that I love her, and I can't just give up on her at the drop of a hat. Except there's no point. She's made up her mind. We're done. Fine. Amy nods, satisfied. I want to hit something. Good. She brightens with a false cheeriness. See you around, he saw. No, you won't. You won't even try. She shrugs, as if to say, have it your way, and turns her back on me once more, quickly accelerating around the curve of the track. I feel numb. This is it. The end of the road for us, whatever that was. Closure, at least. Amy rounds the track again without sparing me a second glance. She's running much faster now, and I can't help but think of that first run together. I ran to catch her to prove I wasn't weak as I knew I was, but it ended badly for me, didn't it? Now you're off running too fast for me again. I have a choice to run after you again, but I won't. Not this time. You'd never let me catch you. I don't even notice walking out from the track or walking into my room or pulling out a book out of my bag to read. Just before bed, I reset my alarm. Amy and I have had our final encounter. We don't speak again after that. Oh no. See, on one hand, right? Now I won't feel, on one hand, I feel like I won't feel as bad doing the other girls' routes. On one hand, right? On the other hand, you know I'm not the type of guy to leave it off at like that, right? Yeah, you know, I don't care. I don't care if it's shit we've already seen. I also am curious as to see how this sort of resolves itself. So, I know we've already seen the good ending, but fuck you. We're not leaving it like this. We're not leaving it like this. We're not leaving it like this. Yeah, we're not leaving it like that. We're not leaving it like that. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Well, I suppose someone else knowing about my problem can't hurt. Heck, maybe Misha can even offer some advice. We had a fight at her house. I keep trying to get closer and she won't let me get close, and I said something stupid and she threw me out. Have you talked to her since then? Oh, she looks so sad. Have you talked to her since then? Misha looks genuinely concerned. I'm surprised, as I almost expect her to drop the subject after finding out what the trouble was. Even more surprisingly is how quickly I find myself spilling my guts to her. No, I haven't. Just can't bring myself to face her after that. I made a complete fool of myself, and she probably hates me now anyway. Especially since I haven't seen her since then. You're pretty slow, Hee-chan. That doesn't sound like advice, huh? Misha placed her hands on her hips and launched into a speak that would sound more plausible coming from Shizune. The solution to your problem is simple. You have to go and apologize to her. Leaving things like this will just make things worse. You can't know that she hates you unless she tells you. Otherwise, there's no evidence that what you fear is true. If you really care about it, shouldn't you be worried about how she's taking all this? How does this change things, though? With a sudden start, I realized that she's right. I've been kept waking up to an early alarm because part of me wants to meet Amy at the track for our runs. I kept running because I know Amy would worry about me if I didn't stay healthy. When I went to the roof yesterday, I was half hoping she would be up there. Oh! Okay. And felt disappointed when she wasn't. I'm an idiot. Kinda, Hee-chan. So, go and apologize to her as soon as you can, okay? I'll be myself that I'll do that right away, but the lunch bell rings and I realize I still have afternoon classes to attend. First thing after class is over, I'll go see her, I promise. How does this change things, though? And, thanks for the advice, I guess. Misha beams at me as if I were a child that had just learned his ABCs. Good, I'll let Hee-chan know you're okay then. Or yeah, you do that. The way even completely disregarding the fact that people are starting to trickle back into the classroom as opposed to out of it, Misha departs the classroom. I suppose she and Shizune have student council business again. While the afternoon wears on, I find myself impatient for lessons to end. I need to see Amy now. I have to try to set things right. Even if Amy hates me now, I have to at least apologize. I owe her that much. Should I meet her in her room? No, I decided it would delay things too much. If I know Amy, then I can find her at the track. So I have no idea what I'm going to say when I get there, but I find knowing that Amy probably wouldn't have a plan for something like this either. Play it by ear. Stop being nervous and get to the track. Figure the rest out when I get there. The track looms and another jolt of nerves hits me in the gut. I resist the urge to turn and walk away. Instead, note with satisfaction that I was right and Amy is still running. I don't make myself immediately known. I find a seat in the bleachers and watch her run, thinking back to earlier meetings. After a few trips around the track, Amy notices me and skids to a halt, an expression of surprise that easily slides into one of anger. What are you doing here? Not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day. The other day? She laughs, a curt exclamation of disbelief. It's been almost a week, he saw. Yeah, well, better late than never, right? Okay, this is going the same. Amy crosses her eyes and stares at me coolly as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge, then. I forgive you. Is that all? Almost impatient catches me off guard, that she's already halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. No, wait. She doesn't seem to have heard me, or she doesn't want to hear me, and so I give chase, disregarding the fact that I'm not dressed for it. My feet hurt, and my shirt collar feels like a noose around my neck. But I still chase after her, because if I don't, I'll lose my chance. Wait, why'd you behave differently here? Maybe the tone of his voice. Amy hasn't really started to accelerate yet, which is probably the only reason why I'm able to catch up to her. To reach out and tap her on the shoulder, just before my legs give up running in dress shoes and stumble to a stop. Okay, but this is definitely a change. He actually chases after her. Surprisingly, fortunately, all that running seems to have paid off. I'm short of breath, yes, but at least my heart isn't actively trying to force its way out of my ribcage. My touch on the shoulder stopped Amy, and while there's a flash of concern when she sees me catching my breath, it seems that she has a good idea of what I'm capable of, too. The concern is short-lived. What? She seems so irritated by my being still there that I almost lose my nerve, but I've lost my nerve enough. I need to explain to myself why I can't just let the matter rest. Amy folds it off and bounces one blade on the ground in an approximation of tapping her foot impatiently. Angry as she is and as nervous as I am, she still looks beautiful. Okay, Sal, explain. Thing is, I know you're really sensitive about the accident and about your dad. I can see Amy twitch at the mention of two things that have been steadily driving us apart, or at least made me feel like we're being driven apart. But that's why I want to know about them, I think. So I see how much they hurt you, I want to be there to comfort you. It makes me miserable seeing you sleepless and depressed, and don't pretend you're, because I know, okay? I just remember the night you fell asleep with me at that nightmare, and you were happy to have me there when you woke up. I was able to be there for you like that whenever you need me to be. The stern face cracks slightly. Amy interrupts before I can continue further. Just stop right there. We can't see each other anymore, okay? She's rushing now, looking everywhere but me. I'm surprised she doesn't bolt. She knows I can't catch her. We're not right for one another. That's not true and you know it. No, it's true. You're too... I know I've been pushy about it knowing your past. If you can't tell me then, tell me yet. Then at least let me be there, even if I don't know the reason. It's okay. I promise. I won't ask you why you need comfort. I'll just give it freely. Amy's shaking her head, and tears seem to be threatening the corners of her eyes. Stop saying that. Why? Because you're afraid you'll take me up on it? I'm not afraid. I can't keep the chiding tone from my tone of voice as I respond. Yes, you are. You told me so, you remember. You told me so yourself. Remember? That's okay. Really, it is. Or it seems to me that someone who'd managed to come out of that wreck and still be as energetic and cheerful as you are, be determined to face that fear. Determination? What do you know about determination? I know there's a girl so determined to take care of a total stranger that she'd steal his food at a festival. Whoa! Okay, I actually like this more than the... Oh, I know that there's a girl so determined to help me with my own problems that she'd drop a complete dietary and exercise plan, and that she'd not only drop the plans, but she'd follow them with me even when she couldn't run. Determined enough to keep me at arm's length, that she'd put herself through emotional pain. Okay, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, the dialogue does seem a little artificial, but then again... Maybe people do act artificial in times like this. Also, it's wholesome, so I don't care. Determined enough to keep me at arm's length that she put herself through emotional pain, and she thought it was the right thing to do. Although, one thing that this determined girl didn't plan for, which was that I might feel the same kind of determination to keep her from being hurt. I fell in love, and I refuse to let that be thrown away because you're afraid of losing me. What little control Amy has at this point cracks, and I find myself suddenly enveloped in her embrace as she cries. Why are you doing this? Why can't you leave me alone? Whoa, new CG. Aww. I hold her close and plant a kiss on top of her head. Sorry, Amy. You helped me when I first arrived, so I have to help you. It's only fair. You're utterly hopeless. Did you know that? She hiccups and trembles a little. So, based on that bad ending we saw just a little... Like, she's been preparing to end all this, so... She hiccups and trembles a little. Funny, I could say the same about you. Can you do something for me, Hisao? Anything. Can you go now? Feels like she's just shoved a knife through my chest. Go? I need to think, okay? I can't just tell you everything yet. I'm still scared, and when you're around, I can't think clearly. Do me another favor. What's that? Show up for a morning run tomorrow. Yeah, baby! I smell feeling better than I have all week. Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Amy steps back slowly, almost reluctantly. She sniffles a little and then grins at me, a real smell that lights up the track, overpowering the fading evening's light. See you tomorrow, Hisao. Okay. She darts forward suddenly, planting a soft kiss on my lips, then steps back shyly. Spinning on her back foot, she takes off running again, and I know that our conversation's at an end. My lips tingle with the thought of that warmth of that brief kiss, and the memory of our other longer kisses. I walk back to my room with a spring in my steps. Tomorrow when my alarm goes off, I'll get up. The morning sun... Have I already seen this? At least got another chance with Amy. If I can just keep myself from doing something stupid, maybe I'll find out what's been eating her recently. I have a few educated guesses, but nothing concrete, and certainly nothing that I'm going to say to her. I'd much prefer to have her tell me herself. Amy is waiting for me as promised, looking a little haggard, but otherwise bright and cheerful. Much more than any previous day this week. Hisao, you're late! I wave my hand dismissively. Nonsense, you're just early. Okay, I feel like we've converged back on the path, but I'm just gonna go down it a little bit more to make sure. Amy grins, and it feels like we're finally back to where we should be with one another. Except now, Amy, not just me. Have I already seen this dialogue? Although part of me worries that she'll just back out at the last second. Get up and stretch, Hisao. I don't want to miss the bus. The bus? Yeah, the bus. I want to show you something. I don't want to be late. Oh, okay. You're trying to grin too wide. I'm happy beyond words that Amy wants to hang out after the run at all, but her promise of showing me something has me even more intrigued. Is this what she had to think about? I just wonder what she's planning to do. Aww. I quickly run through the warm-up routine while Amy bounces impatiently from one foot to the other. She really does want to get moving as soon as possible. The run is over so quickly. Okay, I've seen this. Finish good, come on. I wonder if the nurse has any different dialogue. You seem to be... Okay, no, he doesn't. Well, I'll take care of you first, then. But Hisao's gotta come with me, too. The nurse raised a single eyebrow. Today, huh? The nurse is goated. Okay. No, I'm not. Uh... Oopsies. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. I think we have converged completely back on. Around the table devouring lunch. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we have seen it, haven't we? I'm sure some of you guys want to see the ending, but if you do, there's always the previous stream. God, this all feels so scuffed. Ah. Okay, so... So, I know Amy is probably the most iconic girl, and I think I know why. I asked around online a little bit. Obviously, no spoilers. And apparently they say Amy is the character that most people get on their first run. Which is sort of interesting to know. Which is sort of interesting to know. And I do recall... Oh, okay. So had I chosen this, would I have gotten onto Hanako's route instead? So, yeah, we've seen the Amy's bad ending. I do kind of want to get started on the Hanako route. And hopefully you all have seen the previous ones. I had a very big, I guess, like, internal debate. Because, oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is probably what should be getting me onto the Hanako route. Hold on. Is it? Take it easy. Okay. Okay. So, folks, here is... Apparently, Hanako is also a very good starter character. Also, one of the characters people recommend for, like, one of their first, for their, like, first playthrough. So... yeah, people generally say you should either start with Amy or Hanako. Well, to be fair, that's what one guide said. I mean, obviously it's just a single guide, probably the opinion of a single person. Or like maybe a small group of people. Maybe there's no rule. Maybe I'm just bullshitting all this. I don't know, but this... Yeah, here we go. What are you talking about? Oh, right, I remember. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much even if I wanted. That's right, you shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Really taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decided to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. Oh, shit. See, this is the problem. This is a problem. This is a problem with this is a problem I have with, like, visual novels, right? Like, I had this dilemma first with Doki Doki, though to be fair, that one had, like, an easy route through by having Sayori step in. Remember when, like, Yuri and Natsuki are fighting, and you can, like, take one of their sides? It's just like, no, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take anyone's side. I just want people to stop arguing, because I know all the characters are great. And so that's why I felt so bad when I said leave me out of this, and it felt like I was siding against Lily, because I don't want to do that. Lily seems awesome. But now it feels like I'm siding against Shizune. I'm like, oh, emotional damage. Excuses. Miss Class Rep has plenty of time to deal with the report, and repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn to a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Like, class is gonna be starting too, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she's ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Hisao. I'll leave now, then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week, then turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I feel her eyes burning into my back, and I can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and return to listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Oh, man. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. That feels so weird after, like, all the family drama. It's like, you're kind of back in the school setting and it's relevant again. Because I feel like the school really does take a backseat, and a backseat in the later acts. So, man, that feels weird. After the events of this morning, the class is pretty boring in comparison. Also, the festival, man, that's been such a long while. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. Okay. Oh god, that hits painful. I'm gonna be honest here, I'm guilty of this as well. I did the exact same thing back in the day. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with the crowding in the hallways. I know Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there's pent-up anger in there. Misha's trying desperately to keep up. It's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters. And then on top of that, she's assigned back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, the business is soon finished and the girls sit down on their seats again. Ugh, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit. Good! Without getting roped into student council thing again. I suspect the door's now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me at first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing to speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We'd shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, I think that was encumbrances. No, nothing that will make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passion speech and Misha's acting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello? I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again. Hanako blushes hard and Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with the usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom, working on their festival project, but who knows where that woman is loitering at. Yeah, I remember this dialogue. You need to find her. She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you must have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah. I can come with you. If it's okay. Hanako nods, fractionally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly. One that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Oh, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I pack up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. Yeah, baby! I think we are on the Hanako route. Honestly, just like with I am gonna say just based on the descriptions alone, Hanako does seem like my type of girl. I will be honest here. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together. Something that, so, you know, I'm pretty glad that this is gonna be my second route. I mean, they're all great. What am I saying? It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together. Who should I go for next? Whatever. We'll think about that. We get there when we get there. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've ever done before with the girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing though. Even though we are walking at the same place, she never comes within an arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. You are so adorable. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Aww. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library. I was reading. Aww. So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like Shizune said, right? Right. Oh, she's so adorable, guys. With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a little bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both of our minds. So you and Lily hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That was rather obvious, after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may be her only friend. Must be a pain in being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflexive nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, actually. There isn't any need to say anymore, both of us content that the discussions reached the end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met with a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish, moving from one feeding area to another. God, you are so adorable! Jesus Christ. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves. Before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, you alright? Just keep going. Oh, she's so cute. God damn it, she's adorable. Oh, my heart. I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack now. The students pass us without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up her position to my side again as we enter the building. Her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I call normal interfere of other people. If it weren't Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would even be able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut off in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strange silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come for backup, I wonder? Come to me for backup, I wonder. If that's not true, if she's starting to trust me a little, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reach the door to classroom 3-2. With Hanako less subtly positioning herself behind me, I open the door. Whoa! This looks more wet. I feel like that's the thing about Katawa Shoujo, right? It's like, it's kind of based off, like, it's based on, like, I think a bunch of 4chaners, like, imagining what, from the 2010s, imagining what Japan is like. And you can kind of see the school, it's like an eclectic mix of, like, Eastern and Western, because that is, like, an American classroom. Oh god, that looks fucking terrible. That reminds me of my middle school. Oh god, the desks there. I fucking hate these desks. I'm just gonna say, I hate these. I hate these with a burning passion. God. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and the banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding her amongst the din is surprisingly easy, not in the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands in front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them, carefully negotiating a path through the various students. Hunched over the floor for the lack of desk space, I raise my hand out entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily! She perks her head up as she breaks off, talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best as she can. Sorry, Sorry, Kisao, I have Hanako too. Oh, yo. Hi, she's pretty skittish. Considering the number of people around, it isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment's pause to assess the situation before turning to the other student again. For the moment, just ask Moriya for his advice. Kenji? Kenji's busy painting one of the banners already. Quick nod and she bounces off. Fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. Wait, Kenji? My exact reaction. Ugh. I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of his room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I meet him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. That's right, Class 3-2 especially for students with poor vision. Preparing for this festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could give you help if I need some. Maybe Hanako could too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's the best task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. I can't really blame. Wait, is Kenji a year older than me? That's crazy. I take it you've met? Our rooms are in the door right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Friend, I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put up to helping in the first place. We'll go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right, just ask if you have any problems. Chorusing in assent, Hanako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Hey, Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted kanji that's sketched on the sheet in pencil. It's such an American classroom, though. What? What does this map mean? Like, why are some countries red and some countries blue? Where's America? There's Japan, you could barely make it out. Hey, Korea, that's my home country. Why the fuck? It's so tiny. Where's Britain? I can barely see it, it's a tiny white dot. New Zealand? Oh god. Yeah, there's like half of Alaska there. There's partial Greenland, Iceland. What the hell? G? Huh? What? Who is it? This is the way he treats class members. It's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, Hisao, from the... Right, I know that, man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just gonna help with the banner, Hanako and I, that is. Hello. Oh. Hey, I guess that's okay. What? As soon as Hanako... Well, to be fair, this is the first time I've seen him actually interact with a girl, so... As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face. His sudden foul hospitality is slightly unsettling. Alright, women, on second thought, maybe this may not have been such a great idea after all. Hanako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, nosing the several paint tins on the ground around it. Class 3-2 noodle stall? You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside, or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So how do you want to split this? You do the borders while you do the text? Or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine, you do borders. He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. To reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako's already debating between colors to use. Aww. By the time I put my brush to cloth, her expression changes a little. I love that. That's what I love about these visual novels. By the time I put my brush to claws, she's already started on a delicate pattern, looking my idea of taking her mind off of everyone around her worked. Dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me and whispers conspiratorially, though. Okay, man, why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivations. I get it. It looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover. I should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by them would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him in any case. Is that why you're here? Obviously, it sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than going by yourself. You gotta stick together, man. It's a harsh school, a harsh world. The fuck is up? Yes, very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back, satisfied I'm sympathetic to his cause. I better get down to work. I know there's a Kenji route. Oh, God. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job. The two of us connect the lines of our patterns, mine being as close to a copy as I can manage of hers. The grunt, I lever myself up on the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off a sign, as well as Lily and a couple students talking among themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. If her scars extend to even there, just how much of her body was burned? That is a good question. I feel a slight pang of guilt about it, however, as she quickly covers up her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment before noticing that I meant the banner. It does, I guess. Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's much easier to get Lily as we cross the room. Finish the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done. Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Hisao. Hanako. If there's any way I can thank you. Fine. Beat sitting in my room studying in any case. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room. Yeah, just finished. He carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of the shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. See ya, man. Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time. Indeed, plans this year were ambitious. Maybe too ambitious. The stalls look nice, though. She's right. I feel like that's, like, the longest you've actually, like... Oh, that is so... Okay. She's right. It shows that a lot more work's gone into them. My. I'm sure a lot of us will be glad to hear that. At least now there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That probably is a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hisao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting makes the gardens look quite different. Compared to the usual look of lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying about and to and from the dorms, trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The thing with Shizune kind of took me off guard, though. I grit my teeth at the candid mention of their public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. I still find it hilarious that their panties were out in that, like, first confrontation. God, that's hilarious. What is up with that? What? What? That's so random. About that. I'm sorry about being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways. Oh! Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glance at Hanako for reviews on this, but her expression is, unsurprisingly, evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess apologizing for it is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival is over in any case. The change of topic's welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festivals were a lot more low-key than this. This looks fun, though! Yamaku stresses the idea of school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such special occasions. That sounds awesome! And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff around here are grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go away towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior in any case. She's a proper lady. Aww. As we come into the dorms, it eventually comes time to leave our respective rooms. Leave for our respective rooms. Blah. See you, Lily. Hanako. Two give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorms, just next to the guys. As is to be expected of such arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms, rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have a direction, though, after so long in the hospital. The everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers almost seems almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise I'm going to keep it. Besides, Amy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. I don't know about you, but this stream feels, I don't want to say scuffed, but it's like, it feels awkward because it's like... But it does feel a little awkward because it's like half of it is me trying to see the final half of Amy's route, and the other half is me starting Hanako's. I think that is where I will leave off today. Is what I would say if I was a fucking coward! My morning alarm goes off, and I flail off uselessly for about a while until I remember that I decide to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Good to know that even when you're not in Amy's route, you still care about your health, Hisao. Sure, things haven't been that great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it appeared that I'm not alone in my run. Amy has apparently been here for some time. It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyways? Amy! You and I dated in another world. That is such a weird thing to say. Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again. Why is that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowned, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. So it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning. I shrug and suddenly appears she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely and she seems to snack back on to her previous train of thought. So, come on then. What? You're here to run again, right? Well, yes. So come on. I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Amy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know that I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We're on the track and start on our second lap. Okay. This is where he gave out yesterday. The guy is telling me I should just take it easy. I let Amy go ahead with her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. I mean, it's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real fight out here, is it? Instead, I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to go pushing my limits at this stage of the game. God, is this even worth it? As we finish the second lap, I break off again. Amy keeps going, and it almost seems to me that she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her. Come to think of it, I've got nothing to prove to myself either. Hisao, what the hell? I just find the way I am. What I'm not is a... Oh, come on! I mean, to be fair, easier said than done. I know what it's like to be exhausted. But come on, you can't be letting other people down like that. This is probably a bad... Oh, come on. Maybe there's something I could do. Else I could do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks anyway. There's got to be some other way to keep healthy. Oh, jeez. Walking, maybe. Nice afternoon walks. Yeah, that sounds good. Running isn't for me. That sounds like quitter's talk. What the hell? I wave to Amy and head back to my room. I'll think of something else later. Back in my room, the first thing I see is a familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser, and it makes me depressed as usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. Thought I'd made peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what did I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Just being here reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before for months. It seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That is how I'll rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head, and I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. As I step out into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming out of the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaked past me soundlessly like a ninja, hiding in plain sight, I called out to him too. Hey. He jumped at the sound of my voice. Well, hey man, I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired. I think it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then, what's in the bag? This fucking dude. I thought I'd go shopping outside while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. Thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. What? I decided not to point out that he is not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and Kenji breaks it by pushing the door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room, then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of... your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of the opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just wanted to know when the test date is. I'm still gonna take it, duh. I need to know what date it is, so I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I have to step out and check up on it. Why do you have to go out when you have to get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. Ah. You mean you don't carry a phone? You just mean you leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have phone. I have no phone. What is this conversation? Why don't you have a phone? How could you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. Basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined ominous life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with the phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it. Well, I'll have you know, Kenji, don't you worry, because in the modern era, phones are... Does anyone still use phones to call? I do. I use phones to call all the time, but... People use them as like a budget computer. Which is what a smartphone is. It's like a shittier but more portable computer. It's like it's just a shittier computer. It's a jack of all trades, master of none. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of smartphones, but at the same time, I acknowledge. I mean, I'm watching my own stream on the side with a phone right now, so I can't really say. Beaten in the head? Oh, where else could I have been beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass? Unexpectedly logical. I feel depressed now. Why? Seeing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens the door again and prepares the hens. Well, who knows? Maybe you got beaten. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is gonna start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm. What? I accidentally bought 2 because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. For change, I'm not among the first to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces now, though their names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high. Okay, I remember this dialogue. Yes, thank you, Mikado. What I meant more was the remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells and everyone starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, and since no one seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and says, poor guy. We've seen this dialogue. Hisao. Amy! I'm going to make you a one-time only, super extra special lunch offer. Amy's home-made lunch boxes and the privilege of enjoying them in private with 2 bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallways of a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Amy strikes a very confident... That sounds awesome! Amy strikes a very confident-looking pose as an attempt to one-up for her own ridiculousness, puffing up her very modest chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. 2. What do I owe this honor of being invited? You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. Okay, this is funny. This is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer with pleasure. Let's go to the roof. Roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't go up there, she'll probably just wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs lunch for herself. Who will? Who will? Come with me. Rin. I've already met Rin, right? Because we were chill friends during the Amy route. I assume so. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Amy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh. Okay, I remember this. Eek! Hello. Yikes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Rin's name. I didn't know you knew this person, Amy. Oh, does this mean I don't get food, or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. Yes, we've seen all this. Come on, Hisa, what are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I see myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's what you're gonna say. Okay. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I made it myself while I can. I had bento for lunch myself, actually. What? How interesting. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. You did in the other route, I have no doubt. You got this, buddy. You seem pretty hungry. You know, I'm gonna be honest here. Remember how Amy's mom was like, "Oh, Amy, you're always crazy around food." And I'm gonna be honest here. I had like a vague notion that she did, just because of all I'd seen. But I didn't remember any specific examples until I saw this and I remembered it again. I was like, "Oh wait, this is what you like around food." Oh, okay. This is what you like around food. And morning runs always works up an appetite. Huh. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? Oh, Rin, you are absolutely hilarious. Rin is the goat. Rin really is. I nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? God, Rin is so based. Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and sit on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? I remember this. Like shoes in a suit. Oh. Ah. Yeah. I have trouble. It seems fairly obvious. Really? But kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Amy seems to find the whole thing funny. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Whoa. I remember that. Rin especially so. How do you like it up here? For the lunch, too. No lunch service. Amy looks mock offended, trying to take advantage of my good nature. The nerve! She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, again, Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I'm still assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy eyes I've ever seen as Amy pouts. Kidding, I was just kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location and the company's okay, too. Yeah. Or at least acquaintances. Man, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as it is an acceptable risk. You know, I swear, Rin's art is a bit more, smooth than or some of her sprites. That's so interesting. And they seem more, like, shaded in. Surprisingly, though, she's still there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding in her like last time, and get back to finding reading material. Oh. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and starve off tiredness that's accumulated over the week. Whoa! New sprite! Dang, that's pretty. I like... Whoa. Dang. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards a small town below. The color of her hair and tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. Hisao? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small, polite bow. And once again, I reply in kind before realizing that I needed to do so. Just going into town. You? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. Ah, not lost, but worried. The two seem keeping pretty close tabs on one another. It's surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a little bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. The road bereft of cars and the students of Yamako increasingly far behind us. The quiet rustling of leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before you know, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I could control it again. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. It's an understatement, to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully... Hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decided to give my full thoughts. I guess. Yamago's kind of different though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. Kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it, though, in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It almost feels as though she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. Should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I could ask her what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks about something else. So, where in town were you going? It's actually a pretty good question. I come to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I intended to just wander around and see what I could find, with the sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away. That doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to ask her for directions again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mentioned it, I don't really know the way. Well, now this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again, then. Thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. After what could have been more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here, it takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she's able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't help but shake the feeling that she had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grab 2 well-used baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane, and sliding it through the basket's handle before picking it back up in her right hand. Whoa! Hey, she doesn't use her cane. Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches a cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Ah, sure. Whoa! Whoa, okay. I have no reason not to accept. I can't think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. Navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for, and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is a bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. A quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we've both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the sky while holding both of our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my 2. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in the town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinct figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her immediately. Rin! Yo! Rin, what are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on something more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin, Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the last name and gives a complicated-looking expression. Uh-oh. Something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin, too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello. God. There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering about that myself too, just now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. God, Rin really is the goat. Jesus. I don't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. That was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. They were going that way. She turned and faced her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went, as if that was important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives up being the question of the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that doesn't need to be a lot to be said. Rin Rin's an introvert, but she's not shy. She's not afraid of people. She just doesn't give a shit. And that's what makes her based. Jesus. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think both of us are just, in fact, scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't seem to faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a hollow hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if bull elephant-grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in place of blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you of anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think it's that. The other passerbys were probably just right, though. You really do look lost, the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should take in some other kind of pose in that case. Based. I pondered for a moment whether I should change this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I sighed on the latter. It seems most of the time it's better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that except with human interaction, which is what makes it based. And even if I win, I feel like losing. Yeah, it's just like what Kenji says. Even if I win, I lose. Is this the power of girls at Yamaku? It's literally only Rin. And also, that's because you don't have the right mindset, buddy. You gotta be based like Rin. You know, obviously this is gonna be like probably a long time in the future. Or not a lot, like probably some weeks in the future. I was planning on doing Lily's route next. And I just checked the guide. Apparently Lily's route and Hanako's route. I can actually go either Lily route or Hanako route, even at this point. I'm on the path. As a matter of fact, I can go, at this point in time, I could go Lily, Hanako, or Rin, which is crazy. I'm like, oh, should I do Lily or should I do Rin next? I don't know. I mean, Lily's awesome. I mean, everyone's awesome. I don't know. Just like what Kenji said. It's literally only Rin that's being based. Push the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me in a moment of weakness. It's literally only Rin. Lily seems utterly baffled as well. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyways, you have no idea what you're doing here. She frowns, looking extremely displeased at my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. It sounds like progress, at least. It sounds like she's spotted for an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there's some. Definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. Rin, as far as I could tell, unbased. Assurances aside, what should be done? You could just leave her up to her own devices, whatever those are, but it's late and I don't think we'll be getting anything if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which means she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily's oddly quiet, too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially given she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems like her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. Oh, come on, don't be scared of Rin. Rin's awesome. So I assume you're going somewhere, not going back to school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock as she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique? No. What? Why would you think that? What is that expression? What is that expression? You know exactly what I was doing. It was an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you're going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. But I feel like Rin's a lot more charming doing it. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm sorry, Kenji. Maybe something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, this is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, a paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point in staying here. Rin considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk with her arrhythmic way, looking like a mix of a sleepwalker and a rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. But quiet apart from the relaxing one into town at that. So, how's the mural going? You're going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care about to talk about it all. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamako rests on top is surprisingly steep, going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and my breathing getting heavier. Almost there, I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder. Interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something, I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything alright? Alright, how do you mean? The fact that I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess. And as she brings it up, I notice my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lily notices it all too quickly. Oh, shit! Shit. Shit. Okay, what's really crazy is that, this is the choice. But, I can still, even with this choice made, I can choose between Rin, Lily. What about Shizune? Yeah, I'm still on the, there's still not a single route yet. It's alright. I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh. Is that something related to you being transferred here? I mean, she cuts herself rather abruptly, maybe realizing she was a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's silly, I don't think I mind. It's just I'm a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you look fairly healthy, so naturally I thought... Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty... I guess the best way would be put it, we messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because I've been spent most of the time of the spring in the hospital. Ended in Yamako and the doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. Given I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. To my surprise, in a moment's time, her face shows that she seems to have come to some sort of realization. Wait, so that time when Amy and you collided in the hallway... I grimace slightly. Her ability to connect the dots quite fast is unexpected. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running in the corridor exist. That was a lot more dry than I intended. Lily visibly shies away from continuing the topic. While I do want to assuage your concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realize the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly, but doesn't say anything further. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of her mural as if lightning struck her. She had been so quiet for almost a moment of the walk back that I had all but forgotten she was here. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday the 8th of June. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to fetal position and throw up, possibly reverse order. Is something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. It's Friday, nothing is wrong yet. The mural, it's going to be finished by Sunday, so everything's alright. Do you have any drugs or a time machine? This is not good, not good. So she's behind her schedule. Realizing she's in his exasperation at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She's left herself open for a I told you so unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look at me as I roll my eyes, but I realize she's not the one to do that kind of thing. Leave me. We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she... We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her more than she already is. There's a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin has sure as a knack of making people feel worried about her. She's like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe you should call someone? She sounded like she was going to shock or something. I'm sure she'll be just fine. She's, how to say. Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Wow! That's rude. Unique? Yes, a very unique... Wow! I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion melodiously, nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I really don't understand her, so I try to keep my distance. So Guess was right. Lily offers a slight, apologetic smile as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings have prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her, at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably as a disguised yawn. I imagine she's exhausted by all this as I am. My throat hurts, folks! I am also exhausted. Like, I'm not, like, hot or anything. My room hasn't, like, heated up. It's just my throat actually hurts. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hisao. She smells very sweetly at me. It feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. Aww. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'd say, but that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin. Maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. I will. Good night. What's really funny is I already know, we've already seen this text. I think that is a non-cowardly place to leave it off. We're almost at 2 hours. That's a respectable time span. My throat hurts, dear God. I'm leaving it off here. Ugh. Oh man, when did I started this back in like March, didn't I? Tomorrow's May. Or no, yeah, tomorrow's, oh dear God. I'm writing a book right now that's due on June 10th. I really gotta pick up the pace. Oh, dear God. I feel like Rin right now. Except no, I'm just gonna play video games. I'll be able to crunch. I can crunch. I'm good at crunching. Oh. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that, folks. If you did, please leave a like, a subscribe, a comment down below, and make sure to smash that bell if you have not done so. Cool. Okay. Next episode should probably be next week, I suppose. Probably. Anyways, sky's up and you guys are awesome. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.